I mean, you don't have to go.
No.
Oh, okay. You can be live with me.
No thanks.
Come on, it'll be fun.
I'm good.
You can talk to all the people that aren't here yet. It'll be fun, Danny. I'm going to get you on a live one of these days, just so you know.
When I'm dead.
When you just have your corpse in the background
No,
with a pull string. Oh my god. Hate it.
Kiwi, come on.
Make sure I have the comments actually on. Knowing my luck, I forgot to put it on. Sure you don't want to take Samantha to your room?
No.
Come on, it'll be fun. You guys can go have a party in there.
Banana or cacahuate?
Emma's babies are doing great. She actually just...
He doesn't know what to choose.
Oh, be nice to Rick and give him his peanut. Emma's doing great with her babies. She had 9 in total. She was staying out of nest box, which I absolutely love in a doe because I don't like babysitters. I don't like does that stay in the nesting box and use it as a litter box. So she was out. There didn't seem to be much blood or anything, so I'm very happy about that. The only thing with Emma that I'm a little cautious about, she did have a half-eaten kit in the nest box because she had 10 and then the one was gone. It looked DOA in that it was stretched, but I won't necessarily know if she's going to cannibalize everyone unless she does it to another one. So hopefully that doesn't happen. But overall, she seems to be doing good. I went out earlier to go check on her and give her some oats and everything, so we'll see. My other 2 does that are supposed to be giving birth are taking their good old time. They're going to do it at 3 a.m. when it's like the coldest, because that's what Vanessa likes to do. She doesn't like to have her kits at a normal people hour. She likes to have them at like 3 a.m. So I'm out checking on her every 3 hours like a freaking loon. So, were you hoping for otters? Also, hopefully, yeah, hopefully not. So otters would be nice. I would love to get a blue otter out of her because then I would have a chocolate, a black, and a blue otter. And she does have the potential because, from my understanding with how her, she carries dilute because of her dad. Her dad was a chocolate. So on that B line, it has to be a double B. So, it's still on. Okay, no, strawberry. So my husband had to watch the farm while I went back home for a funeral, right? And he started doing like double rations, bless him, because he was so worried about getting everyone fed. So Strawberry gained back some weight. So Strawberry is still on Slim Fast and went up some sizes. So he is now 8 ounces overweight instead of like 4 ounces overweight. So step back for Mr. Strawberry, but you know what? I am not going to complain too much on that. He's just a fat boy. He is just the fattest boy. I love him dearly though. So Strawberry is still trying to lose weight. Hopefully it's successful this time, but we shall see. But in case y'all don't know, one of my pastimes is I do D&D. And I am the dungeon master. So part of my homework is making maps. What are shaded lines in mini racks? Oh, shaded colors. Smoked pearl is I'm pretty sure is a shaded color. I'm pretty sure tort is a shaded color. My SOP is in the barn. What other colors? I don't do shaded. I am not a fan of shaded colors. I am missing a couple. I know I am. Did I say smoked pearl? I think I said smoked pearl. Ermine might be, or it might not be. But when it comes to shaded, I stay away from shaded colors because I don't really understand them much. There are some colors I'm really well versed in. Shaded are not that. But, and the reason why I'm not into shaded colors is it goes against blue-eyed whites, right? So everything that blue-eyed whites are, you want to keep away from shaded. So when I breed my blue-eyed whites, we breed them to black and broken black lines or black-based colors. within the agouti spectrum. So things like chinchilla, chestnut, also known as castor in some instances. So, yeah. But other than that, I'm going to stare blankly at you because I need my SOP to name the other shaded colors, especially when it comes to like approved colors. Do you see the broken to otter ratio for Emma's litter? So Emma's litter is either 50-50 broken to otter or they're agouti, because when they're this young and they don't have their fur in, right? Agouti and otter look the exact same because we can't see the lacing around the eyes and ears yet, and we definitely can't see the rings of fur color. So she either has otters in there or she has chinchillas in there. With that being said, we could have broken otters and we could have broken chinchillas as well. So we won't necessarily know until the babies are about 2-3 days old, and I can actually see the lacing and the colors and all of that, and then we will either be very excited or very sad. Now, with that being said, if I can get a good chinchilla out of Emma, it'll replace Alpha. And I say that because most things can get bigger than Alpha can, and I know for sure Emma has way better type than her, the buck I bred her to. Alpha, I love Alpha dearly, but Alpha is an ugly sock. He just looks like a sock. I love that buck. He's amazing. He's 100%, he has never missed a breeding. I put a doe in with him, and that doe has babies. I don't ever have to worry about it. But the only bad thing about Alpha is he's a tube sock. One of the best investments I ever made for $5. Alpha was $5. He was either 5 or 10. But the amount of output that boy has, he can be a little tube sock, a small tube sock, because he's more than made up for it. Do you still have Georgia Freak? I do not. Right now we are looking at cutting down our Californian lines and replacing that buck. George went with a friend. Freak decided it would be really fun to like have a heart attack. So, not sure what happened, but that really upset me. That happened a few weeks ago. So I have a breeder right now I'm talking to where I'm waiting for her to have a buck. Hello, Sheldon. Go away, Sheldon. I'm waiting for her to have a buck that she deems to be quality. She's very picky about her stock, to replace Freak. And then I was like, hey, I want a breeding pair out of you. So we'll get the buck and we'll get a doe, but it probably won't be till springtime, which is why I was hoping Hawk was going to have a litter. And then I was hoping, what's her name? Hawk and Tati. There we go. I forgot Tati's name there for a second. If Tati and Hawk have litters, we're good to go. I can replace Freak pretty easily, and at least until we get that next buck here in the spring. But if not, then I am going to just sit on Californias for a little while because it's been a time with them. I was really hoping Hawk was pregnant this time because she was nesting earlier in the week, but she stopped doing that. She's not pulling any fur. She's not giving me any of the signs, and I'm not good enough at palpating to always like be 100% one way or the other, right? Because it's like, oh, are they actually pregnant or are they not pregnant? Am I just like out of my mind? And she didn't feel like her uterus was descended, so and expanded out, because I can feel the uterus better than I can the individual kits because I'm horrible at palpating. Try my darndest, but when it comes down to it, I trust weigh-ins more than I do my own palpation. I gotta give it to those people who can feel individual kits. How are the champagnes are driving me nuts. Cookie is doing great. Oh my god, Cookie is amazing. I love her. Moose is amazing. Belle is Belle. I need to call her out. But I gave it one more shot because I don't know what this is. And okay, if it was any other breed, any other line where I just didn't have a breeding trio, I would be like, oh, I would have eaten this doe a long time ago. But she's from New York, as in New York, New York. And I don't want to drive to New York, New York to go get champagnes. And the closest place where I can get good champagnes is 6 hours away. But all of the bloodlines are related to moose because that's where I got that buck. So the best thing I can do is just sit on this, hope Belle has babies, and at least one more time because Cookie's almost to age. Almost. She's 3 months old, so she's about halfway to the 6 months mark. We'll wait till 8 months. But Cookie's getting there. But until Cookie is of breeding age, I am so scared of calling Belle out. So we'll see how that goes. I don't think Belle's pregnant, which means I'm gonna just I'm for reals this time. I keep saying it, but I'm for reals this time. She doesn't have babies. I'm going to eat her. Same with Hawk. Same with Tati. I cannot afford my feed bills right now if I keep holding on to things that won't breed. Even if I have this moment of I don't want to cull it out because it's a doo-doo brain. It's not even that they. Do you think the day Argents are the silver foxes? Oh, 100% the silver foxes. The champagne day Argents are jerks. Except for Moose. Moose is great. Cookie's sweet. Belle is the worst doe I have ever worked with, and she is a snotty little thing. And on the daily, just goes after my hand. She hasn't gotten me yet, otherwise I would have eaten her, but she'll lunge at me. She, especially when she's pregnant, she's had 2 litters with us, and both litters went to hell in a handbasket, which is another reason I'm nervous, because if I do end up getting her and end up breeding her, I'm going to end up putting her babies with a surrogate anyway because of how horrible a mother Belle is. The joys of a new breed. I am not impressed. Love my silver foxes. Silver foxes are great. They are neck and neck with my Rex when it comes to meat breeds. Like, if I was only allowed to have one meat breed, like my husband was like, hey, Madison, you are only allowed to have one breed of rabbit, I would have a difficult time choosing between my Rex and my silver fox. I would probably keep both and just tell him that they were just 2 different colors. But if he figured it out and I was only allowed to keep one, I'd have a very, very difficult time choosing between. I'm going to set this map up and then I'm going to show y'all what I've been working on. By the end of it, I will have all of the playable areas in white and all of the non-playable areas, like the walls, will be painted like black. How do these numbers go? I think 4 goes under. I don't think 4 goes above. Does 4 go above? I don't know. I should probably look at my codex. So, y'all don't know. This is the dungeon I'm making right now. This is the small version. And then I put them onto 1x1 squares and then fill them in. How long till a blueberry can be bred? 2 months. It's 2 months for that, technically. Technically, you could breed them now, but 2 months. Hoping that goes well. Bred Lulu. Lulu's bred, hopefully. I bred her to Strawberry. So hopefully all that will go good. I hope that goes well. Imagine. I want to see Madison have a mental breakdown, have some of her best ones not go very well. Hi, how are you doing? I am reminiscing on my very, very, very naughty lines right now. It's that time of year where I'm like, it's cold, it's snowing, I don't like it, and I'm just like bleh about breeding right now just because it's cold and I don't want to go out into the cold, and I'm pouty. It's been snowing, so I'm pouty. And I'm in one of those moods where it's like, why am I breeding things when it's snowing and like just gross out? And then it's like, oh yeah, because I love this and it's like my hobby and I'm nuts. So it's one of those things where I know why I'm doing it. It's just sometimes I question my own sanity, especially when it starts getting like really cold. It's not even really cold yet. It's just moderately cold and I'm just being a baby about it. And that's really all it's what's happening is I am being a baby about how cold it is and how much I don't want to be outside. Any blue-eyed white chances coming up? Yes. Actually, yes, next week. Sadie was bred to Gigi. So, 50-50 shot on getting any blue-eyed white babies in that litter. If she's pregnant. Now, she does have a descended uterus and she has gained weight. I'm very hopeful for that. So, hopefully some blue-eyed white babies next week, or the end of next week, rather, for timing-wise. I keep doing this. I need to look at my freaking codex. I keep messing myself up here. So yes, blue-eyed white babies, hopefully next week. If I don't have blue-eyed white babies next week, I'm going to cry. But it's okay because we have Daisy. Daisy, who is a, alright, so this goes up, and this comes down. Daisy, my sister's mini Rex that I'm keeping on the farm right now, she's supposed to have, in theory, if I breed her to another Vienna carrier, she's also 50-50 shot of getting blue-eyed white babies. So, fingers crossed on that. Really hoping for that. So if for whatever reason something happens to Sadie, or Sadie doesn't have those babies, I still have that section of the line that we can have more babies. I'm missing 2A. Where did 2A go? So, hopefully, yes, we'll be having those very soon. I am sick of not having a blue-eyed white in the barn when I have a very major focus on blue-eyed whites in my breeding program. Like, party's like, how does this make sense? You are an avid blue-eyed white breeder, and it is like also 2 months, right? Yeah, Daisy is, yes. So yeah, I'm an avid blue-eyed white breeder, but I don't have any blue-eyed whites in my barn right now because I'm stuck in the generation in between, which is all Vienna marked. Because that's just how blue-eyed whites work. To improve the lines, you go, Vienna marked, blue-eyed white, Vienna marked, blue-eyed white. Sometimes you throw in a non-Vienna carrier, aka strawberry, to improve those lines. And I'm sitting here, and I am just like, I need more blue-eyed white babies. But hopefully that'll all go well, and I can have another blue-eyed white in the barn, which would replace Sadie. That's what I'm looking at doing right now, is replacing Sadie with a blue-eyed white. The only problem with replacing Sadie with a blue-eyed white is the fact that I would have 2 babies out of Sadie. Y'all haven't met Syraxis or... Yeah, so I have a couple new ones in the barn that I've decided to keep out of litters. One is Syraxis, and she is out of Sadie. She's a little broken caster. Amazing high point, really great depth. Her high point is slightly forward, can be easily fixed by rebreeding her back to Strawberry, but she's out of Sadie as well. So I have to do a test breeding on her to verify that she is not holding any blue-eyed white gene, which is aggravating, because if she is, that'd be great from a standpoint of, oh yay, I have something to breed into my blue-eyed whites to be absolutely beautiful, but I need to carry on a line that doesn't carry Vienna markings, which is a challenge sometimes. That goes up there, and goes up there. There we go. We're getting somewhere now. But hopefully we'll get that all figured out within the next month or so. I am missing a page. Am I? Where do you go? Do you go right there? No. You go like that? Also no. You go up here. Found it. And then why are you over there? Am I missing? I still think I'm missing a page. But yes. I am very excited about this campaign, though. We're going to, so, the campaign is supposed to start at the end of November. I'm going to see if I can get my, my friends to start the campaign early, though, because I'm super excited about this one. And I just have to kind of convince them that they want to go into this campaign early. But the problem with this campaign is every single one of the people that play this time have decided they want to be chaotic evil, which kind of ruins my plans. And it makes me sad because it's like, why do y'all want to be chaotic evil? I need somebody to be good in this campaign, or else y'all are going to join like the bad side. So I got to figure out how to intrinsically motivate, if you know, all of these characters to do the right thing. So it's not as easy as, oh, it's the right thing to do. It's more of, oh, here's money to do the right thing. Because they're all jerks who want to play bad guys this time. I think they got sick of me bullying them as a dungeon master last time when they were good guys. So I brought this upon myself. Not sorry necessarily, but that's why. That's in the wrong spot. Hey, there we go. That's why it was a little funny. Sometimes I can read my own maps. Does that happen often? No. Most of the time I'm as confused as everyone else. I do need to get my scissors though at some point because I have extra lines because paper isn't a full inch to a full inch. It's a full inch to a full half inch. So on some of these you have like the extra and I just gotta snippy it all off so it actually sits correctly against itself. But I have about a quarter of the map done. So a quarter of the map is equivalent to 3, 6, 9 squares. So I got this done in a day. So the hope is I can get all of the other maps done within the week and then we'll be good. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this mapped out and I already have the campaign started. So it starts in 1D and I have everything planned out for the campaign up to 7B. So that will at least, if they want to start early, we can like get into that. So we shall see. I'm gonna make sure I didn't miss any comments here because I'm really bad about that. But yeah, so hopefully everything goes well. We'll be good to go. But other than that, nothing really. So it's getting to that time of year on the homestead where I don't like being outside because I don't like the cold. And also, it's getting to that point of year where even though my breeding is getting heavier, it's less interactive because instead of breeding for myself for show season, I am breeding for 4-H'ers. So a lot of what I'm doing is just getting my basic stuff out. So a lot of my lines and my recs for meat pens, my mini recs I'm prepping up for first time 4-H'ers, and not any of the fun colors because the fun colors are really rangy and they're not like, it's not that they'll do bad for the kid at show, they just won't do as good as something that's as simple as a solid black or a broken black because of how well developed those lines are. So it's a little boring this time of year because all of my big, like, heavy projects I do when it's not 4-H season so that I can just put meat in the freezer and be good to go. So that's what Emma, I'm going to see how fast her kits grow out. And if they grow out well enough, I can, Ricardo, don't you dare. Then I can send them to some 4-H homes, get them into meat pens, and hopefully we'll get more grand champions this next year because this year we got a lot of best of breeds, we got a lot of best opposites, we got some grand champions, we got a second place showman, which great, love it, that was her first year, so proud of her. And then also we have a couple on the ARBA circuits right now that are winning legs, getting best of breed and best opposite, and a couple best of shows. So my lines are doing great in our region. It's just I want them to do even better, and I'm just not ready to introduce the blue-eyed whites to the 4-H kids yet. Soon, one day. Plus, also, the biggest problem I have with blue-eyed whites to 4-H kids is all of the non-showable colors that they produce. So you get a lot of Vienna marked babies, and that's fine for adults who want to work on a project. It's not necessarily the best for a 4-H kid that's just getting into showing and genetics and doesn't quite understand the repercussions of having blue-eyed whites. So, I am not the biggest person when it comes to, or I'm not the best when it comes to giving those kind of colors to the kids. So it's a very, very boring season. So in the next couple of months, other than Sadie's litters for me, because I'm trying to replace Sadie. But the next couple of months, you're just going to be seeing a lot of 4-H bunnies. We'll have a lot of 4-H sales. We'll have a lot of getting ready for the 2023 show. I need to start picking out who I want to breed together to take seniors and juniors to convention. Convention is in Louisville coming up this next year in 2023. So I need to decide which mini Rex I'm taking there, which silver fox are going to convention, and I think, I don't know if I want to take Rex to convention or not. I love my Rex lines and they do really well in this area, but are they, I don't know if they're convention quality, like if I'm going to be honest. And if I have a better chance of entering an extra mini Rex in the convention and doing well in convention with my mini Rex, I might just leave the Rex here till 2024. I'm not sure yet. If I get like surprisingly shocked at the quality out of Emma or Lizzie from Alpha, then maybe I'll take a single Rex to convention. But it's an iffy one, just because I don't know. So, but again, we'll see. Definitely taking mini Rex, definitely taking silver fox. I would love to take Strawberry to convention, but I am under no kind of denial that man is fat as heck. And knowing my luck, I would sign him up for convention. He would get overweight like the week before convention. Happened there though. Something out of Strawberry definitely will be going to convention though. Probably something double out of Strawberry, because I'm breeding him back to a couple of his daughters right now to see if we can get something better. Just because I like what he produced this last time, but it's just not quite there yet. We have just a little bit, I want to see more fullness along the loin, and I want to see a bit more forward high points. I think that was Sadie more than it was Strawberry, because Penguin, when I bred him to Strawberry, their litters were good. Their high points were in the right spot. But all of Sadie's litters were just forward on that high. So I want to try rebreeding one of Syraxis. I'm going to rebreed Syraxis to Strawberry and see what we get out of her, but I got to wait till she gets the correct age and then try that. So fingers crossed for that. Fingers double crossed for that. I would be so disappointed if I did not like that pairing of Sadie's daughter with Strawberry again. I guess it's also Strawberry's daughter, but we shall definitely see. Dupe button. Dupe, did I miss a live? I did not. I feel so accomplished. I didn't leave out any of the live chats. I do. Something I am really, really like frustrated with is if Vanessa isn't pregnant. And it's not her fault, so she doesn't have a strike. It's just the fact that Wiley and Eduardo are still very young when it comes to bucks. And I need them to do the freaking job. So if they don't do their job and Zeus does their job, I'm going to eat somebody. I'm just going to eat somebody. I have too many silver fox bucks, if I'm going to be honest. I need to remove one of them. But I'm not comfortable with removing one of them until Zeus comes of age. Because Zeus is just a baby. Zeus is a baby, but Zeus is freaking heavy. Okay, so Zeus is 4 months old, right? He's 16 weeks, and he is over 7 pounds. He is a chunk. Oh, I'm so happy with his grow out. And same with Nina. Nina at this age actually is growing out even more. She is 6 months. Yeah, she's 6 months now, almost breeding age. We're almost there. And she is 9 pounds, so she's a chunky girl too. I love it. She's a chunker. So I'm really excited about grow outs for my silver foxes coming up soon, to the point where hopefully either this year or next year, I would love to introduce silver foxes not only as a show option for showmanship to the 4-Hers, I'd love to introduce them as a meat pin option. But that is going to take a little bit of work and a little bit of faith, trust, and pixie dust, because putting a heritage breed such as silver fox against Californians and New Zealand's up in the air. I can convince them to do Rex, and the Rex do really well in meat pens as long as they are, the same color, same size, all of that. But getting people to agree to the silver fox one, that's going to be the problem. But if we can get them to agree to it, and we can get them to that point, I am very hopeful in our program to move forward to making them more accessible to people in the future as as far as a heritage breed goes, because it is a rare heritage breed that's really hard to find around here. The closest breeders, there's more than there used to be, but it's definitely not as accessible as you would see like a commercial type breeding rabbit such as the Californians and New Zealand's. I would love to get silver fox to that point, but that's going to take a very long time. So that is the project we are working on with them, because I really, 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 really want to see more 4-H kids showing them. We have one 4-H'er that showed silver fox this year. They did very well. So just one this year. This year, if we can get 2 people showing silver foxes in 4-H, that is great. That's double the amount of last year. And I would be very happy with those numbers, seeing more people showing silver fox. But we shall see, we shall see. And then also, if the COD would just get approved and be good to go for the blues so that I can actually show Zeus's children, that would be great. That would be really great. Because Zeus, body-wise, is just glorious in his size and his fur. Like, Zeus is just perfection. And if I can, like, perpetuate that through the lines, then I would get some beautiful babies and we could actually show some blues. Because right now, I have blues and blacks, but I have the potential of getting chocolates and lilacs. So my goal is in the next couple of years to have blues, blacks, chocolates, lilacs, and maybe if we can get a roux and a broken, that would also be great. Because eventually I'm hoping more colors are approved with the COD. But what I really like, the reason I want a red-eyed white for, I said a blue-eyed white, my bad, I meant a red-eyed white for the silver fox. I want a red-eyed white for the silver fox is because I'd really like to get some furs out of them, that nice plush, lush fur in white, and just focus on that for tanning hides and doing projects and making blankets and things, because just like the Californians, it would just be standard white across the board. Because like I'm working on a black blanket right now, and it's doing well. But I want white, because I think it would be pretty, and it'd be fluffy and lush and glorious, and yeah, we'll see if that ever happens though. Will it? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not very good at the predicting things thing. But overall, we shall see. I'm really excited to get some chocolate lines, and I should be just happy with that, but you know, your girl is not good about being happy with things. She just wants everything. Want to happen. And this map, I love this map. It's a cool map, but it wants to be on the seam of everything. You remind me of Cruella. You know, maybe if Cruella was obsessed with rabbits over Dalmatians, yes, I think Dalmatians would make a horrible jacket. But that's just me. You know, that's just me. I think that would make a horrible jacket. But yes, I am okay with that, to be honest. I think Cruella was very fashionable. It's just she went about it the wrong way with the wrong animal, just from a standpoint of propriety. Because people are very attached to their dogs, which is completely fine, but maybe not go after dogs for a jacket. That just seems like a really bad idea. Just like a really bad idea. But it's okay. But I also, I definitely have a difference of opinion when it comes to most things mainstream, just because I do the homesteading thing, and part of it's also military humor. I have a lot of army humor still left, so I make a lot of inappropriate jokes, at least when it comes to that kind of thing. it's just a bad habit. A really bad habit. Okay, I go there and then I go 2 down, 2 down. I feel like this is, okay, 2 down, no, that's where it connects. But, no, I think with a lot of things, I think there's a huge detachment when it comes to resources, be that resources such as food or resources such as byproducts such as like leather and furs and everything. And we had this whole thing. I remember when I was a kid with PETA, you know, the whole don't wear furs thing where people were throwing like buckets of like blood or ketchup onto people for wearing furs. And I find that there's just a huge disconnect. And I don't necessarily understand it because of the fact that, you know, we raise animals and we raise our own food and everything. It's just, I find it to be a bit weird. The people who are normally the loudest about anti-farming agendas are the ones who will still eat meat and buy from grocery stores, not really understanding where it comes from and how mass farms actually work. And beyond even factory farming, we're still talking about mass farms, and a lot of times they don't even understand the difference between like the comments on the eggs carton, like the difference between like free range or pasture raised and all of that when it comes to chickens, and how that actually is described in the box compared to how it actually is. And it's interesting. It's really interesting because, you know, it's no longer where these chickens are raised necessarily in singleton cages, but they are packed into these very large rooms to do what they need to do, but it's still not. That's not funny, Rick. Rick just cheaped like one of the chicks in my incubator and I thought it was out. Which didn't make sense because those chicks in the incubator, or brooder rather, only a day or so old, so there's no way they'd be jumping out right now. But I'm rambling, which, nothing new there. I do a lot of rambling. My little sister, she's actually, so she's going to college right now, and she has this one class that is farming or homesteading or something. She's sending me the book after she's done with it, but it's basically I think it's biology, but the teacher's kind of obsessed with homesteading, which I love it. Let's keep going with it. But she's like, yeah, some of this stuff is really confusing. I'm like, it's not confusing. It's great. I love this. But they were talking about heritage breeds of like plants and everything, and how heirloom seeds compared to non-heirloom seeds work, and GMO and that kind of thing. And it made me happy because like it's a class in college that isn't like an agricultural studies or an agricultural degree focusing on homesteading, which, you know, also part of me like riles against that because, oh my gosh, why are they teaching a non-necessary class? But also, I would definitely take that class, even if it wasn't in my degree, because it sounds like a lot of fun. But I don't know. There are some things where sometimes I'm like, oh, I really should have done X, Y, Z when it comes to my education, and then other times I'm like, my education worked out well for me, even if it bores the heck out of me. But it's one of those things. Although I say bores the heck out of me, but I'm obsessed with law, and I'm obsessed with like the human resources stuff, and I'm obsessed with staying on top of that and the hiring side and the freaking generalist side. So I love it, and I say it's boring, but I can sit in a law book for hours a day just memorizing things and just reading them over and over and over. So it's boring, but I enjoy the boring. Don't know if that makes sense or not. But if I could go back, I would probably change my degree. I'm just up to the point right now with it where it's like, I'm already this far, why not? Why not?
Because you eventually get to a certain point in your degree where you're like, I don't really like this. And I don't. There's a lot of it I don't like because it's unnecessary. Like, for instance, I was looking at some SHRM stuff, and I was looking at like, oh, what can I further in my certifications? What can I do with this? And one class was $90. And it was how to be a better communicator within your company. And I was just reading the outline, and one of the points was like, be a better listener. And it's like, I don't know if I want to pay $90 for this, when it seemed like I was reading through some of the points, and it's like, oh, this is kind of like common sense. I'm going to look for other things that I can get certified in for my resume and all of that, because it's just like basic communications classes, which you should have, like, as an HR professional, it's something you probably should have done, like, earlier in your career when it comes to like college or within your company with certifications. So it seems almost like a lot of the SHRM stuff is like cash grab classes, which, okay, go off. Earn your money, SHRM, but other times it's like, or like, it's stuff that's already touched in other certification classes. So it's like, do you really need to go over this again? Probably not, but, you know, sometimes. Now, if a company wants to pay me to go to one of those classes, I will, because why not? Where am I right here with this? This is 1, 2 to here. So that goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Once you go to 5, we go, oops, daisy, and we go over 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then in the corner, it goes down to 13A. Boom. Sorry. Map's not turning out too bad yet. I always mess up somewhere, and then the entire campaign, I'm staring at it because it's a wreck. It's just a huge wreck. And it makes me want to cry. Although, with that being 7C, where is that going? 7B into 7C. What is that? You know what? I like that better. I don't know what my brain was doing with that, but I like that better. See, I already found a problem. Alright, found a missing piece. I'm just going to connect that to 13A that way then, since my brain likes that. And I like it better too, to be honest. I don't like... So there are little pieces that like go in that are like craggy and like gross, and I would rather it be nice little squares. So I am going to do that. I'm going to turn them into a really nice area into 13A. So that is now 13A. That's what I'm sticking with. That's what I'm going with. I like it. I love it. I might need to move some things around though, because it should have been C. 1, 2, 3 should have been 4 space 13A. Alright, I figured it out. I'm partially screwed up. So that's 13A over there. I connected it with a tab square. And I don't think I screwed it up too bad actually, so. Maybe Amy. Madison, what did you do today? Completely screwed up a map. It's ruined. Bye, gotta redo it. Nah, I'm not that. Oh, we just hit low battery. Let me fix that. Haha, I fixed it. Did I miss something though while I was counting squares? Knowing me, I would. Haha, I didn't miss anything. But yeah, so I'm hoping that this campaign is going to be a hit. Although I wish, again, that my character people who are playing would not have all chosen chaotic evil, because they're already murder hobos. And if y'all don't know what a murder hobo is, they just go in and kill everything. Like, they don't even play the campaign. They're just like, let's destroy everything. And then I sit there with like hours and hours and hours of campaign blown through in a couple of hours because I want to kill everything, and it makes me want to cry. So if they could stop being chaotic evil and maybe just be neutral good or lawful good for once, I would be so happy. Like, I would be so happy if somebody wanted to not be chaotic evil and wanted to, like, just play the game and not just be like, let's kill everything. It's like, guys, you can't kill every villager to get what you want. It ruins the game. You're just murder hobos and you turn into the villain. Which they always turn into the villain. They're always the villain. That being said, I love playing with this group. This group is so much fun, and YouTube would kick me off my live if I talked about the last time when Danny was a halfling. What happened? That was we had shrooms. Somebody ate blue shrooms off the wall. There's all kinds of escapades, people doing things they're not supposed to be doing on top of the murder hoboing. So it's fun. It's just sometimes I wish that they would stop murder hoboing for 5 freaking minutes to be good. They just need to be good, just for a little bit, because otherwise it's just one of those things where I just sit there and it's like, you guys are nuts. But they're mine. They're my people's. So I can't be too put off by their nonsense. How many is this? So I already have 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I'm at the end of the paper. That's the one bad thing about drawing my own maps, is like, sometimes I just fall off the paper a lot. That's 1, 2 down. We're gonna do it on this side this time, because we're gonna go right on the seam. 1, 2, and then we just follow that all the way over. There's no break, there's no break. Whee! Boop. There we go. I will say though, with this map, it's not one of my harder maps, because if I look towards the back of my book of maps, I get maps that are like freaking this. Look at that. You know how hard that is to draw on straight lines? Absolutely ridiculous. And one of those tiny little boxes is equal to 10 foot. So 1 square is equivalent to 10 foot. So what I do is I blow the map up to its 1 inch per block. So 1 inch then equals 10 foot. But let me tell you, it's annoying. Am I in the right spot? Yeah, that's the right spot. But, like, up here I have the throne room, and then across from the throne room adjacent I have the queen's chambers and the queen's harlot's chambers, and then I have the servant area, the kitchens, and then we have, like, it's almost like a little broom closet right here, and then once we go up to here, we have a stores room, and in the stores room we have black pudding. And if y'all don't know what black pudding is, it's something that oozes through the wall and like grabs onto the players as oozing them back into the wall. I have a gelatinous cube down there somewhere. We have a horde of rats down this way. I haven't made that part of the rat, but the horde of rats, right? So they're looking for someone. I'm hoping my husband isn't listening right now because he's one of my players. I don't think he is because he's watching TV and he's in another room. So what I'm going to do is they're going to go down to the dungeon where they're supposed to rescue one of the players up here, their wife. They're supposed to go to the dungeon, save them, get them out, right? But one of the dungeons is a false dungeon and it's just full of rats. And it turns into a swarm of rats that attacks them. So they have like hundreds of rats they have to like beat off. And then in the stores room, as soon as they open the doors, right, they have these things called shriekers. And shriekers, they're just like little mushrooms, right? And you walk through the door and they just start screaming. So they'll alert the guards and the guards will come see. So they basically have like 10 seconds to like either kill the shriekers or deal with guards. But those are like the low level things. The higher level things, down here we have hounds they have to deal with. They're like, where are my notes? My notes are on my phone, of course, and my phone's right there. But they have like this hound, it's a mythical hound, it's like a fey hound. And there are like 5 of them because they have to go through the hound's quarters. So they have to deal with that. They have a bunch of mythical beasts they have to deal with once they get up into the higher levels up over here. Because this is the easy levels. This is like levels 1 through 3 over here by the time they're done. But once they get down to like here, they have to be like in the 10s. And then when they go to deal with the big bad evil guy back in the throne room, they're gonna die. It's inevitable. Unless they really figure out some of the tricks and secrets, they're just gonna die. Because eventually what happens is with this group, they murder Hobo. And they'll kill everything, and they can get, what do you use for pedigrees? Do you make them on your own? No, well, you can. I've used Excel to make my pedigrees before, that works really well, but right now I use Everbreed. I love Everbreed. It has a nice program. They're pretty pedigrees. They're easy to read. And you can add and subtract what you want from all the pedigrees. Glorious. Love it. Good. But yeah, Everbreed's great. Love it. But yes, so with my lovely little murder hobos, once they murder everything, I always make the evil dude super overpowered because they should have gotten good at that point with how much they kill everything. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, and if they didn't, well then I guess they should stop being the big bad evil guy, and or they should stop being bad people, and then I would make the big bad evil guy easier to kill. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're good on that end. So yeah, that's a lot of fun. They didn't give me their full character sheets yet, but they gave me enough to where I can kind of put them into their sections. And what they don't know is none of them actually read. A lot of this is based off of like ACOTAR. I call it my ACOTAR campaign. And it's just based off of some of those characters, some of those storylines, so that when I do homebrew, my brain doesn't like out. So I have a lot of characters that are based off of that, and it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. Now, if somebody else would just come be the dungeon master, I could actually play for once. I haven't played a campaign as something other than the dungeon master now for years, because when I was in the army and we had our Dungeons and Dragons club, I was still a dungeon master and I didn't get to play. Is that funny, Rick? I don't think it's funny. I actually want to play. I enjoy being the dungeon master, don't get me wrong. It scratches the little creative bug in my brain that I don't get to scratch very often. But at the same time, I would also like to be a murder hobo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this prep, all of this prep is annoying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Haha. But eventually, we'll get it to the point where somebody will get sick of me being the DM, and I'm hoping they'll take up the reins. Hopefully. Will that actually happen? Probably not. Hey, Blessed with Pets, how are you doing? We haven't talked in a while, and mostly that is my fault because I have not been live because of extenuating circumstances with life. Ever annoying, but I'm hoping that we are done with the drama and the people dying stuff and funerals. I'm not good with that stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mostly I'm not good about leaving the farm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's 6. And I have to double up with the crosses here, and then I gotta make another. I feel like I'm missing doors. Did I forget to put a door? I did forget to put a door right there. So we do a square, and we go like this. And I need to put an S right there because it's a secret door. So I can't do. So and if I don't put an S there, I'll forget. So basically, the door in the back right here of the door in the back of the throne room. So this is the throne room, right? This little area right here. There's a door in the back that is basically a secret door that is behind a tapestry. So right now they're having court in here and they're being brought before the queen, and they have to either take the servants' chambers that way or they have to come out the secret door this way. But the only way they're going to know about the secret door is if they roll a perception check of 20, or if they figure out how to get back here without drawing attention of the people in this room. So they would need to roll perception, get a 20, and then sneak through. Or they would need to get extremely lucky and sneak through. Which, with that being said, they're going to end up going this way. I would really like if they went through the kitchens first, but they might go through the servants' quarters first. We'll see how it goes. But once they get through there, with the hints that are given in the kitchen and everything, they are going to need to go through points 3, 4, 5, and 6. Because when they enter here, they don't have anything. No explorer's pack, no nothing. Everything was taken from them when they were brought before the queen. So they don't even have the basic explorer's kit. So they need to go over here to the storerooms to where some, not all, some of the weaponry is kept, which is where they're going to run into the shriekers. It's where they're going to run into the black pudding. It's where they're going to then probably run into some guards as well, so they can get their XP up to where they'll level up to a 2. I need them to be at least a 2 by the time they leave 6, which is right here. Any new litters? Yes, Emma just had babies a couple of hours ago. She had 10 in all. One, I'm guessing, was a DOA, so she has 9 babies, and it looks like we either have some agouti or some otters. I'm hoping for otters, either that or chinchillas. If I can get a chinchilla out of Emma, that'd be great. That would really improve my chinchilla lines. But that'd be me being hopeful. I'm just happy she had babies at all, because my oldest litter right now, or my youngest litter right now, is 8 weeks old. And I didn't believe myself when I was looking at my records. I'm like, there is no way I haven't had litters. And then I looked at it with our RHVD2 scare and our end of fall break, because that's the hottest time of the year, and like we normally take a break around then because our bucks go sterile. I'm like, yeah, it's been a while since we've had babies. So I'm happy we have babies again on the homestead. And one's babies are 8 weeks old, so we got them weaned off, and they are off of mama, and that's always good because one does not like babies on her constantly. And now I need to decide if I'm going to keep one or cull her out. I'm kind of on the fence with it because in theory this should be her last litter and I should cull her. But she's a really good mom. And part of me is like, well, what's one more litter? And then I'm sitting here, I'm like, well, I have the slots open. Really, Rick? I have the slots open in the Rabbitry to where I could keep her as an extra and put her up in one of my silver fox cages, because I have an extra opening in the silver foxes. So I could keep her there for an extra couple of months to have one more litter. But do I actually want to feed her through the winter on chances? But then I sit and I think about it and it's like, well, Alpha always catches. Is one a mini Rex? No, my mini Rexes are next week. Sadie, blue-eyed white litter. Hopefully. I need a blue-eyed white litter, live chat. I missed that. This one, yeah. So, hello, Nikki. I just saw, what the heck? There are a lot of things. Hello, FR Humphrey. Hey, Nikki. Nikki, I thought you had a volleyball game tonight. Oh, wait, no, you're at the end of your season. My bad, Nikki. My bad, you're at the end of your season. My brain doesn't work too well right now. But yeah, so Sadie should be having a litter next week of blue-eyed whites, hopefully. If she doesn't have blue-eyed whites, I'm going to cry. It's a 50-50% chance with the buck I bred her too, so hopefully. Nikki, you should come out to Colorado and join my D&D campaign we're starting. It'll be fun. You can be the only good person playing. Everyone else is chaotic evil. And it's horrible because they're going to be murder hobos again, and they're just going to kill everyone in sight, and it's just going to make me cry. Because they're really bad about just being murder hobos. It's alright, I love them anyway. They're fun to play with. I need a doe or two. I think I took too long, and I don't think Breeder has gotten any more. Blessed with Pets, do you have any like local shows in your area that you can go to? I know you have that one breeder in your area because we've talked about it because we lived very close to one another at one point in time because I was in Louisiana Station for a while. But let's see, I missed a. I'm looking at coming out again at some point. Nikki, are you driving or flying so I know what to do with Daisy? Because I don't need you coming out and then her being pregnant and me going, no, I have to keep your rabbit for longer. Be like, this is my process now. You can't have her. This is mine now. Which, Nikki, your rabbit is a freaking pig. In case y'all don't know, Nicole is my younger sister, and I love her dearly, and her rabbit is a pig and eats too much. Not actually eats too much, she's just a pig. She's not a good weight, though. She's a pretty girl. But if she headbutts me one more time, knocking the food dish out of my hand, we're going to have words, me and her. Because I have wasted so much food on her. Do you know if the Louisiana State Fair has a show? Yeah, the Louisiana State Fair should have a show. Now, whether it's ARBA sponsored, I don't know. But yeah, normally state fairs have a show. Look it up online and see. You can either do it through the ARBA or you can do it through the state fair, dependent. I've never played, always wanted to. It is so much fun. I'm the perpetual DM, so I'm the dungeon master. So I don't actually get to play. I just get to sit here like this the entire time. I'm not sure yet. I told you she can be preggo. Love you too. I know she can be preggo. I just don't want her to be preggo if you're trying to take her home, unless you want to start raising mini Rex. And then I will send you home with preggo bunny. But I'm not sure if mom and dad would be pleased with you dropping her. If you ever needed to like drop her off at mom and dad's house, right? And you're like, hey, can you watch my 20 rabbits while I go do XYZ? Then they'll be mad at me. But no, if y'all ever want to play D&D, I highly recommend it. It is so much fun. It is just basically, you know how as a kid you would like play pretend on the playground and like it was all kinds of magic and fun? This is play pretend for adults. I will mail the babies to you. Nikki, that's not how it works. It's like me mailing my children to you in a box. I will come pick them up from you. But you cannot mail babies through the UPS services. That's not how that works. I wish I'd be mailing our parents my children all the time. Do you know you used to be able to mail your kids to the UPS service? It's been a while. I think they stopped doing it in like the early 1900s. But you could seriously mail your children through the UPS postal service. Like, what the heck? That's like, it's horrible but brilliant. I wonder how much it cost though. I can't remember the numbers. I just remember talking about it in class one time because we were all joking about sending our children through the mail for like Christmas. Weird things you talk about in college, I swear. But if anyone ever wants to play D&D, it's a whole lot of fun. That's where this was starting for the conversation. It's a whole lot of fun, a lot of things to do with it. And you don't necessarily need to play like these huge campaigns that take months. Like my campaigns, if we play them through, normally take about 6 months to play through if we meet twice a month to play. Oh, low battery. Oh no, there we go. But normally take about 6 months to play, playing twice a month. You definitely do not need to make that big of a campaign. I make mini campaigns that we can play through in a single session. Now, with that being said, we play sessions and we'll play for 6 hours at a time. It's like quite literally, we'll meet up on a Saturday afternoon, we'll all have dinner together, and just all day we play D&D. You don't need to do that. That's just what we do because we're nerds, and we eat pizza and play board games. And I'm the only one who dresses up. I get really disappointed in everyone else. They dress like normal people, and I have my Dungeon Master cape. So it's like a cape, and I put it over my head, and I sit all up, and I'll just talk like Smeagol most of the time, and I'll just talk like this, and I'll just go, and I enjoy it. And I do all of the voices and all of the talking, and it's a lot of fun. I love D&D. It's just glorious. And sometimes we get helium balloons, and that's also fun. because, and then I can do Schmeagol in a high-pitched voice. Yep. This is the fun we have on weekends. I can't wait to play though, because, well, it's just a lot of fun to play. And we haven't played D&D for a little while. We ended our last campaign, and now we need to play. It's going to be fun. And if it doesn't get to be fun, I'm going to cry. But, Jano. I'm gonna finish this one last square and probably call it a night though. I'm normally a lot faster than this, but I keep stopping to talk and I get distracted. I'm really bad about getting distracted. This is why a lot of times, it's like on lives, I'm like, I would love to do XYZ on live. I would love to quilt or do this or do that. But I have this really bad habit of where I get to talking to people and then I stop doing what I'm doing and it's like, so what did you get done? And it's like, well, I don't know. I don't know what I got done. I was talking to people. I was having fun. But I get distracted. I get super distracted. Also, y'all, I don't know if y'all watch Big Mouth or not, but there's a new season of it, and Danny and I tonight plan on watching the entire season together, drinking beer. Because that's what we do on date nights, is we hyper-focus on a show we absolutely adore, and that is our date night while the kids are sleeping, is watching horrible adult cartoons. I'm trying to get him into BoJack Horseman, but he's not really into BoJack Horseman, which I think is blasphemy, because I think BoJack Horseman is, I almost said Bill Jack. I'm like, Bill Jack, who the heck is Bill Jack? I think BoJack is pretty brilliant when it comes to, like, you know, adult cartoons. But I think he thinks it's a little too on the nose. Plus, Mr. Peanut Butter is awesome. I know, like, he's a little annoying and he's a little too intense, but I love Mr. Peanut Butter. And I will stick by that, even though, like I understand he doesn't understand boundaries. I understand that Mr. Peanut Butter really has the, what's it called, separation anxiety, and it's more about him and his feelings than necessarily what, like, Diane wants. I get that, but I still like Mr. Peanut Butter. Like, I think he's a good character, and he has a really great growth from the first season to the absolute last season, so. Plus, there's some really good stuff on that show. A little dark sometimes, but still absolutely spectacular. See, that goes. There. So if this wasn't here, I always have trouble. I need to cut off that extra. I might go do that. Let me go grab my scissors. Give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna be out of shot. I need my scissors. Are these sharp enough scissors? I don't even know. I just need to. I have that extra ½ inch that I absolutely despise. I need to get rid of. Oh yeah, these are sharp enough. You know, you can pay people to make D&D maps for you, right? But they're kind of expensive. And you can also get the D&D maps where you draw them in permanent marker and then you can erase them with, like, isopropyl alcohol. But I like doing it on paper. I like it better on paper because I can save the maps and, like, reuse them in other campaigns. And maybe that's cheating, but YOLO. Because I keep them all in, like, little paper protectors. And then we're good to go. Plus, also, with it being larger like this, because on the dry erase board, the maps are tiny still. They're still the little tiny pinpricks of maps. This, I can actually set my characters up, like my little plastic playable characters, and move them around. And I think it's great. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Loathe entirely. It is almost Christmas season. I don't like it, but I will watch The Grinch like 20 times with Jim Carrey. He is the best Grinch. And you cannot tell me otherwise. Okay, now I can actually see what I'm doing because I have one more in just like that. And then after that goes in, I have one up. And then after the one up, we have two over. Boop. Boop. And after the two over, we go two down. And then a cross corner in. And then after the cross corner in is 3. 1, 2, 3, and then we're off the paper. So what do I do up there? There, it's also 2 with a room for a door. Happy little door. This is the Queen's chambers that are like right up against the throne room, because you have the back of the throne room, which is like they have like the parallel tables in the dancing area, and then you have the area up here, which is the Queen's actual throne area. So glorious, love it. All of that good stuff. I am though supposed to do how many up? Because after this part, I have. Can I count? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Did I miscount over on that side? No, I don't think I did. They're congruent. I could just add an extra one. No one would know. I would be the only one who knew if I went like that and then added an extra one up. Me and the other people who are watching would be the only ones who knew. I screwed that up. But I won't tell if you guys won't. And no one will know. Nobody's gotta know. Nobody's gonna know. Haha! Alright, and then after that, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4 off the map. Okay. Ta-da! The throne area is finito. Although, did I forget to put Resan's door on? So here's that. Going into here. No, he doesn't get a door. He doesn't get a door. I'm gonna give him a door. I feel like it's rude not to give him a door when the Queen gets a door. He's gonna get a door too. It's just not locked. That seems about right. And then I need to make the throne area, make the stairs, and then the congruent little tables. How many tables do I even have? Because it's in 1, up 1, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And on the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then after those 8, because these are the tables, right? Which I'm gonna, here, I'll show you guys what I'm doing real quick so you can actually see. So, let's see here. So right here are all the tables in the throne room, and then it goes all the way up. Kind of wonky, but that's a quarter of the map. So that's a quarter of the map. That's what we're working with right now. And I need to put you back up against my hot sauce bottle. There we go. All right. So got the throne room there done. And that's 1D. I actually need to mark it. And then also up here, I need to make the throne area, because that's what we do. So, throne area. I'm gonna start here, come down here, up there, and we're gonna do the little, how did they make that? It's just a little rectangle. Oops, I just drew on my own table. Rectangle with 2 little arm rectangles another little arm rectangle, and then the throne sitting area. And then we'll do another little stair area, because YOLO. Is it a little off center? Yes, but who's gonna know except for everyone with eyes? But that'll do, that'll do. Slightly off center. It's gonna bother me the entire game, but you know, if anyone says anything, I'll just kill the character. Danny's probably gonna say something and kill his character first. Alright. Am I forgetting any doors? I feel like I'm forgetting doors. I'm always forgetting doors. And then also here in the next like little bit of time, I need to make sure I don't forget any doors, because I'm really bad about forgetting doors, and then we get into the middle of a campaign, I'm like, there's supposed to be a secret door here, and I completely forgot it. Oopsie. Because I always do that. I always forget about a secret door. And then I just turned into a normal door, and then I have to put it somewhere else. Or change the map when no one's looking. Oh, and I don't catch it until we're actually playing, which is bad juju on my part, but, you know. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get going here. Just because, like, I gotta spend some time with my husband. So, thank y'all so much for watching and hanging out with me while I make my D&D board, or D&D map rather. I really appreciate it. And of course, we talked about some bunnies too, so that's cool. So, thank y'all so much for hanging out, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.